Hey guys, so we're gonna do a late night garden tour and we're gonna see what's new, what's different, what's changed. So come look at everything and hopefully we get the best shots for you. Alright, we're gonna start over here. So in the back right here is sweet mint. My husband took me to Home Depot and we got some sweet mint. I got some videos out on that trip and what I got with it. Over here in this section next to the water bucket is thyme. Really, Zorro? Stop it. I'm busy. Hold on. This right here is a boysenberry from Baker Creek. Now they did refund me because it originally looked like it had died and everything, but it seems to be doing okay now. It is still having some issues with the heat, so I'm hoping when it cools down it will do better. But since that one did survive, it kind of gives me hope to have another one in the future, maybe. I don't know when that will be, but down the road maybe. Other than that, I still love their seeds. This one right here is a raspberry. It was replaced and the replacements didn't do so well. It is still trying to grow. There's some leaves down there, so I'm hoping that this one kind of hangs in here and just slowly grows. It has been really hot, so you know, everything kind of hates life right now. This is a chocolate sunflower I got from Haas Tools on their Earth Day sale. You got a free little bag and a bandana with that sale, so I got this as my one thing from Haas for that particular thing. There's more thyme here. There was some bushes here. Unfortunately, between my cats and this obnoxious little rodent that is either a gopher or a vole, we don't know which one it is now because both have been in the yard. They have officially destroyed it. Here's oregano back here. I think the cats laid on it, which is why most of it died, but I also think it just got really hot. So I'm not sure, and I can't tell if any of these flowers ever went to seed or not. So I'm hoping that maybe there's just some life deep down in there somewhere and it'll just bounce back out of nowhere. Speaking of fuzzballs, culprit number one. Here we have some sweet basil. My husband pointed out that some of them are starting to flower, which I'm just gonna pluck you right off. There we go. I've got 4 of those. I have harvested some of them. I think it was 8 little sprigs of basil, which I put in the fridge, and then realized that I was like, oh, I could propagate the basil. Well, those 8 little basils didn't even look like I touched the plant. So it looks like I did nothing, and I have just a magical basil in my fridge now. I have one very sad Johnny Jump Up right here, viola, pansy, whatever you want to call it. It's the orange one that I said that I love so much. It's barely hanging on, it's still trying, it's the only one that survived. Everything else kind of died off. I have these, I think they're purple prince, or they're purple zinnias. I'm not sure what the actual name of them are, but they're from Baker Creek, and they're purple zinnias right here. The rosemary that came with the oregano and thyme is back there. It's doing okay. I have one section that looks a little so I try not to water it too much, but with it being hot, I still kind of water it a bit. These are my bachelor buttons. Now, I hear you can eat bachelor buttons. I haven't tried any yet. I'm kind of hoping that these go to seed, since they seem to be attracting in various something fell off. Various bugs, so I'm hoping that they've just been beneficial to the local insect life. I don't think I ever did a video on my rattle poppy, but this is what happened with my rattle poppy. It had pretty flowers, as you can tell, and they eventually went away. And then as I waited for the pods to open, which they never quite did, it looks like, the heat kind of just killed it off, and the spiders that are now vacating it right now, or at least throwing a fit, apparently, are just using it to catch little bugs. My dill that was right here, I harvested what I could, but for the majority of the reasons, I say that the aphids killed it, the heat killed it the rest of the way. My pineapple sage, I think the heat also killed that, because this right here is what's left of the pineapple sage, and my husband just explained that it's in the direct line of the majority of the sun. So we're trying to figure out how to fix that. My other two basils, as they're doing pretty, you can see they're from Bonnie. This is my regular garden sage. I would say when we got it, it was probably about half this size when I originally got it. Like, you can see the tag originally when I got it. Now you can't see the tag anymore. So it's gotten pretty big. I think I've gotten 3 or 4 leaves off of it, and it doesn't even look like I've touched it at all. This guy right here, I do believe, is an artichoke. It seems to be doing okay, other than this one little leaf right here. My stock flowers, most of them either look kind of sad like this, or worse, so they're not doing so good. All my Rios look like this right now. That guy in the back had a bunch of leaves, but I think the heat did them in. That rosemary right there died a while back. We still don't know why, but I've kind of just left it. I've kind of just left it, hoping that maybe it would come back. Sorry, I needed kitty cats, apparently. Oh. Yeah. Girl, I swear. Give me my pants. Shit. Ugh, excuse me. Just got attacked by my fuzzball. Alright. Icelandic poppy. This is the only one that survived like that. So I'm hoping it's just hibernating like that. Other than that, I don't know if it's okay. If it's not okay, it's just there. And as long as it's just there, I'm happy. I have some more zinnias. I think those are zinnias anyways. Right there, right here. This is supposed to be my Enkentia. It's doing so-so. This was my petunia. It was beautiful. It was lush like a week ago. And now it's sad and barely green. So we're thinking it's just too hot. And we're trying our best to kind of keep it as cool and as watered as possible. But with Arizona heat, it's kind of hard. These are supposed to be bush beans right here. And as you can tell, they're not bushy and there's no beans. So I'm gonna hopefully try again here soon. I got some long beans in the house sprouting. In fact, they just sprouted a couple days ago, and I barely put them in their little pots, so it's like you touch them with dirt and poof, there they are. So yeah, we got that going. This tomato loveliness right here we bought at Home Depot. I have not gotten a single tomato on it yet. We bought it kind of as it is currently. I did take off 2 suckers, hoping maybe I could propagate those into more tomato plants, and I do have some more tomatoes growing inside, hopefully for later in the year, so there's that. All my peas died, every single last one of them. They all died as soon as it got hot, so that they definitely don't like the heat. These little guys here, I've been plucking all these fuzzballs. This is what they look like, little fuzzballs. And these are all the seeds from the lettuce. I just keep letting it puff up like that until it just won't anymore, to try to get as many seeds as I can, so that way I can have a bunch more later. All of the green in the back right here is supposed to be straight neck squash. They aren't doing amazing. They're doing okay, but they're not doing amazing. There's no squash on them yet, so I think that the house is radiating heat onto them and they're not liking it, or oh, it looks like maybe I have some gaps up here in my shade area, so I'll have to fix that. My zucchini is doing a lot better. It is more shaded during the day, but there's still no zucchini on it. There's just a lot of these pretty male flowers right here. And by male flower, I mean there's no fruit underneath it. Like, I'll show you on one of my other squashes, but I don't see a single female on here at all. Just males. So, great for stuffed blossoms, but that's about it. So hopefully I get a female on here soon. My little onions, they're doing alright, I guess. I don't like the heat either. All of my cabbage that we got from Home Depot never actually produced an actual head on them. These ones have really small heads. The problem is that I have a really bad aphid problem, and I have a real bad caterpillar problem. So these are kind of my sacrificial lambs to the bugs, so they leave my other stuff alone. And all the lettuces are now doing little puffball things. So I'm going to be picking all the seeds off of those. And then down here, I have bull's blood beets. I wanted to give them a try. I only put a couple seeds down just to give them a shot. I haven't gotten any actual beets from them yet, but they are growing quite a bit, so I'm hoping they just take their time. So hopefully soon I'll have an update with that. Now, since we're down here, has anybody had mysterious mushrooms growing in their yard anywhere they put compost and or manure and or raised bed or amend in their gardens? Because every single inch, especially under the lettuce areas and stuff like that, are these tiny, weird looking mushrooms. And it's just odd. I've heard that it's supposed to be like, oh, that's good for your soil, blah blah blah, but it's still weird. Moving forward with that, all of my broccoli, I only got to eat off of 2 broccolis. The rest of them are basically what looks like gone to flower, but they don't get any bigger, and they don't ever flower. So I'm a little confused on what's going on with that. But knowing that they're super hot and everything like that, and again, aphid problems, caterpillar problems, they're kind of just protecting the plants that need to be protected at this point, so they're sacrificial lambs as well. This purple bell here, I get bell peppers, as you can tell, that little dark speck right there, but that's as big as they get. They get to about the size of a $50, and then they ripen, and then that's all you get. And the same goes for this regular bell pepper here. It started doing this last couple of days. It's really kind of on the softer side compared to this one's a lot firmer. They don't seem to be getting any bigger. And the plants aren't actually producing really any other. I mean, there's 2 flowers, 3 flowers there, but they're not really producing any other peppers, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Everything gets watered, everything gets checked for bugs and stuff. I see that that has some damage, but there's no bugs to be found, so I'm not sure what's doing it. And this guy is just, I don't know what's going on with him other than he's a little heavy-sided right now. But yeah. This is my onion. I think I need to pick off all of these little pods here. It looks like they have seeds in them, but my onions here that flowered, that's about it for them. My my black-seeded Simpson, they're finally going to seed. I have, or had, as you can tell, they're all sad now, potatoes growing. I planted them a couple months back, if not a few months back, And they've been big, tall, lush, pretty for the longest time. And they finally started dying back, so hopefully I get bigger potatoes this time because I buried them deeper. And if I'm correct, this little guy right here, I don't know if you can see him very well. Let's see if I can't. Yeah, this little guy right here may or may not be not an aloe, but an avocado plant. So I'm hoping that he's an avocado, and I'm hoping that I don't disturb him when I get rid of all the potatoes in this little area, so that way maybe I'll have avocados later. Other than that, they're with the soil I put in here because it was for my compost. It's kind of like a little hodgepodge of different random things growing in here, but they're gonna just be moved out. I moved some of them, they didn't make it. I guess the roots got disturbed too much or something. But I put the same soil over here, and oh, you can't see. And all of these little guys here, all of them, they all sprouted up, and they've been trying their best to survive the summer heat. And then these guys were from last year, all these pepper plants, even this guy. I only got a handful of peppers from the bells here that were mysteriously marked as jalapenos originally. And this guy is the world's hottest pepper. It's the bee hut jaloka, or the butt jaloka, or however you want to pronounce it, jaloka. And no flowers, ever. Like ever. All it does is sit here pretty and green, so I mean, I guess I got something right. But still sad, because there's no flowers. Okay. So moving over here, carefully, we have one of the two chili pepper plants that my husband got from me at Lowe's. Look how pretty. There's like hundreds of chilies on here already. As you can see down here, some of them are now pretty and red. So those ones are ready. Oh, you got a yellow leaf. Let's get rid of that. So those ones are ready. I can pick those anytime soon. I have this beautiful rambly thing right here. These are 4 different watermelon plants. The 2 large varieties right here are in the back. They are the crimson? No, they are the Dixie Queen and the Black Diamond. Where's your tag? There it is. Yeah, Black Diamond. Those are these right here. And the Yellow Petite and the Crimson are here. I had a watermelon from Baker Creek. It was Moon and Star. And then I went to Cal Ranch, at my local Cal Ranch, and they also have Moon and Star watermelons, but I didn't plant those because I already had one and I didn't want too many large watermelons. So unfortunately the Moon and Star died, and so next year I'm going to have to plant all of them. Hopefully I will get all of them growing again and everything. So hopefully next year I'll have all the watermelons, and I'll get to show you guys how all of them do. Okay, so I'm not sure how many good angles I can get because this burlap here, it's sagging. I need to re-tack it again. And be careful where I step because the watermelons are actually long enough to touch all the way to the ground and go about, I don't know, 2 feet in any direction. So we have my Playboy right here, this beautiful little beauty here. They do not have a strong scent, or really any scent that I can smell strongly, but they're so pretty. So we'll just get a quick little view, maybe some up closes here. Let me get around the pepper plant here. Over watermelon. They just go around the whole thing like this, just everywhere on this one. We got some little ones and this big one over here. And they open up like this guy, where they just kind of splay open. They have like, I don't know, 6 petals max, I think, maybe 8 on some of them. And both of my Playboys do that. They have it to where they're just all over the place. Now they haven't been blooming in a few weeks, so to see them bloom now is actually quite nice because they were sad and yellowing and dying, kind of like this guy right here. They were doing this. This one is my knockout rose. There's no blooms right now, but there is little spots. Let me see if I can't find one. So this little section right here, you see this pointy section? I'm not sure if you can, but this pointy section says that's going to be a bud later. And then any place that has this brown, reddish, rusty color that's still pretty and vibrant, that's also going to be a bloom later. Excuse me, spider, you're in my way. Would you like help down? Here you go. So, even though it's like a bajillion degrees outside, I still have beautiful roses to admire when I come out here. And I usually try to come out twice, once before I go to work and once after. Sadly though, my intrigue rose right here, this beautiful little baby, has not shown any sign of wanting to bloom again. And I haven't seen any real sign of it growing a whole lot. Oh, there it is, right there. I stand corrected at that then. It does have signs of growing, it's just very slow to the party right now. And I kind of don't blame it because it is like a million degrees out here. But I've been trying my best to clean up all the dead stuff and keep it watered. We did, or my husband specifically, gave them all a B1 regiment, and I tried my best to keep up with it, but between my schedule I forgot, and just my forgetfulness in general. So they didn't get their full regiment like they were supposed to, which that was my bad. But then they were still doing a hard time being moved between their pot and the pot I have them in. So he gave them an iron supplement, and so they've been doing a lot better since then. And I also gave them rose fertilizer when we planted them in here. And then also in the last week I gave them just a regular grow fertilizer when I fertilized everything in the area, just kind of as a pick-me-up. Alright, so some of these are a little hard to get to because the pots for the roses are in the way, so I'm going to try my best. This is my Double Delight. Now when the rose isn't happy but it blooms, you'll get a pale, slightly colored rose. So here's a better example of this one right here. I don't know if you can see that very well. See how it's kind of pink right there, but not quite? Yeah, so it's not happy, but it's happy enough to bloom. So there's still something very wrong with this rose, but I don't know what it is, but I'm enjoying the fact that currently right now it's blooming. And it hasn't bloomed really since we got it. This one has two buds right here. There's one right here. There's a baby one right here. It hasn't even opened yet. This guy is just barely opening over here where my hand is. So there's a handful compared to when I got them. And I got these right after my birthday and right before our anniversary, which is the 2nd of March. So I've had them for a little while. So not having them bloom for such a long time, or only getting a partial bloom, you know, that's a big deal right now that they're actually blooming. That being said, like I said, my stock flowers right here, not doing amazing right now. Summer heat's kicking their butt. However, my snapdragons right here are seeming to loving everything. So this one was my smallest snapdragon. It wasn't doing the best at first, but now it seems to be doing just fine. And then everything over here is kind of like eh. So let me go back around so that way you guys can see what's over here in Melon Valley, I guess if you want to call it. This right here is supposed to be a mulberry. Now it was lush and pretty, but with the heat it died back, and there's a little tiny leaf down at the bottom down there. but I'm not sure if it's going to hold on with this heat, so I guess I'll keep you updated on that. So let me get past the peppers and the melons here. Okay, so let's go back to the watermelon where they were climbing up. So right here I have one of my, it's either a straight neck or it's a crook neck. I'm not sure whether you were a crook neck. Okay, so this one's a crook neck, and I think its neighbor might be a crook neck as well. I'm not sure. I had like, oh, I don't know, 7 or 8 of one and a bunch more of another one, and they got all mixed up, and I don't remember which one's where. Oh shit, I just fell. Ugh, that sucked. But behind it back here, I had cantaloupe, cucumbers, and butternut squash. So I think this one is a cucumber. These rounded leaves with the tiny little yellow flowers, versus this guy over here, which I think is a cantaloupe, which has pointy leaves like a squash kind of, versus rounded like a lily. So I think the lily looking ones are cucumbers, and I think these pointy looking ones are cantaloupe, but I guess we'll find out if they ever produce anything. This big guy here goes from up to the almost the very top of the hoop right here to way down here. So you just kind of forced him up this way and trying to get him to climb up. And what I want to try to do is eventually let these guys weave over these 3 little hoops that I made, which are just the H support in masonry. They're just the little ones. I don't think they cost very much, but they're not very big at all, and they're very super easy to bend. So I'm hoping I can kind of leave all the melons and the watermelons that are really small just all over this, just let them kind of go ham on it. So that way maybe they create some more shade and it's easier to kind of just pick the fruit as I go. These guys down here, however, I have squash. Look at that. This big beautiful thing. It's not as big as I hope it would be yet, but it's getting there. And I have a few more here and there. And then I have one hiding over here. I'm not sure if you can see that little yellow speck right there. That's another one. And then there's a few more on this one as well. So those are the ones that have fruit on them currently that I can tell for sure are fertilized and going to grow big and beautiful for me. This one back here is also the same variety. I think it has one, yeah, it's got that right there where my pinky's pointing. It's got one right there. I have on the end of this hoop by that black pot, there's a Malabar spinach down there, just taking its sweet time growing. This is my second chili pepper plant. I think I might need to tie this back a little bit because it is drooping over into my squash. So hopefully I can kind of support that a little better. If you get plants from any place and they have these plastic little cages, as cool as they are, they're not exactly user-friendly. So I'm not exactly 100% happy with how flimsy they are, but it was free with the bucket. Alright, back here, I'm not sure if I can get back here, there is an eggplant plant. Hopefully that grows big and tall and produces me an eggplant. Those are supposed to be the more fat, squatty type, so they're supposed to reach up to 3 pounds in good conditions. So I'm excited for that. These tomatoes right here, I did a video on how to use these curly Q little supports. I don't know if I messed up the roots or if it just got too hot, but they kind of died on me a little bit. I did cut them back hoping that it would help, and it didn't really help much, but this one seems to be growing back again, so that's good. I had got 2 organic jalapeno plants, and I wasn't getting any jalapenos, which is kind of why we have more pepper plants. So these guys finally got big and strong for me, and it looks to be like there may be some soon, very soon, jalapenos popping up here and there. So I can see at least a few flowers that look promising on them, but they have quite a bit of flowers on them. My sorry for all the moving, guys. My other snapdragon, these are my sunset looking ones, as I like to call them. They're yellow and orange and red and a little bit of pink. These guys are doing pretty well. I'm not sure if this is a weed or not. I'm gonna give it a little longer. This is one of my Xeons. This one's the smaller out of the two, but it seems to be bushing out finally. I have a few spots that are dead on it, but other than that, it's not doing too bad. This tomato is so-so. It's kind of hanging in there, throwing a fit currently right now. These are my jalapeno plants that we got from Lowe's. They had just a bunch of jalapenos on them in various stages. I kidnapped all the really big ones recently, so hoping to promote it to produce more. But with being so hot, I'm not sure if it's going to focus any further on flowers and just the fruit that it currently has or what, but it's at least looking lush and pretty. All of this right here is dark opal basil. Now, they were a lot darker in color. I'm not sure if it's the sun that makes them turn back into regular basil. But, I say regular basil because they look green. But they are definitely dark opal basil when you taste them. They have a unique taste to them compared to regular sweet basil. So you can tell them apart, which is really nice. These little bush things right here is what I was talking about. I had in the front area, my cat killed at least one or two of them, and then the rodent killed the other one. I'm not sure if the rodent had gotten to these as well, or if it's the heat. I don't know. I have a balsam down here, this little guy right here. He's the only one that survived so far. My borage is doing well. Let's go over there. I have this big, beautiful thing. I tried one of the flowers. Everyone kept saying they taste like melons, or watermelons specifically, and they kind of do, which is kind of weird, which is kind of nice. I don't know how I feel about that. But it's interesting. They are very intimidating, though, when you go to look at them, because, come on, tell me if you want to eat that. It's got spikes and everything. But it wasn't so bad. I just plucked off the stem, and I picked off the front part that looked like it was going to stab you. And it tasted really nice. It was sweet. This plant, however, there, it has a very interesting smell, and I don't know what it is. So, any thoughts? Here's a good view. Let me see if I get a smell for you. It kind of smells like basil, but I didn't plant anything like that that I know of. And it just has this very unique, strong smell to it. I don't know. This is my Rio Sombra plant right here. Here's another good look at the borage. Pretty, isn't it? And there's just hundreds of flowers all over the place for this thing. They're just everywhere, and a spider, apparently. Borage is supposed to be edible, other than just the flowers. The leaves are too. The whole thing's covered in spines, so I'm not sure how to eat the rest of it. I'm going to look that up hopefully soon, because I'm really interested to try it in a dish if I can figure out how to do that. But I've got 3 plants. So I've got this one, another one, and this little one down here. I have some zinnias in the back there. Don't remember what kind. I have this guy right here. Have no idea what that is. I know it's a plant I planted, but I don't know which one. This is my big Xeon right here. This beautiful bushy thing here. And then my other orangey red. You can kind of see those. They're snapdragons. I have some more. I'm going to have apple blossoms. And what I do when the flowers are done, I just kind of do that. If they come off, they come off. If they don't, I leave them. And I'm not even putting a lot of effort into that. and it kind of just helps. Ugh, why do I keep losing my balance? It kind of just helps with the plant a little bit, from what I can tell. And then this little guy right here, I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm interested to find out. So that poor little rose over there is being scorched by the sun. That's my Double Delight. You've seen that in previous videos where it's beautiful, it's pretty, it's kind of a red color. But right now it's sad and has a very green flower. So it flowered and it's got another little bud in there, but unfortunately it's not doing so well either. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I know this is kind of a long video and a lot of talking and a lot of moving. Sorry guys, but it's been a little while, and obviously things have been added, things have been taken away. Gotta love allergies. And, you know, that too. So, hopefully I can get some more updates on things and whatnot. So, thanks you guys for watching and sticking with me and staying with me for this long in the video. So, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for future videos. And also follow me on Instagram. So, if you look through my profile, the name on my profile is very similar to my Instagram. You should be able to put that in and find it, and if not, I will leave a link somewhere amongst my videos, and possibly this one, to find me there as well. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!